We
Joyous.
are, we are, we are, we are back. We are back. Let's see if we got y'all back. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tune back on in because we are back and share it so people can get a little crosstalk joy today. All right, we ain't
Yeah.
been here for a few weeks. See if I can do this.
They coming back.
We need to find some music to play to give them
Yeah.
time to come in. That ain't nobody
hmm
gonna cut us off.
Right.
All right, let's hope that did it. All right, we
Okay.
having some streaming issues. It'll cut off and then it'll come back on. But we on right now. So
We
I
here.
see Pamela's here. Doc is here. Excuse me, Doc is here. And
Yep.
let's get into it. Let's see. I'll record this too, just in case um, we get some issues and we have to just upload it. All right, so we
Hmm.
not gonna stop no more tonight. It is
hmm
time. We just went over
Non-stop.
our I heard them say,
Yep.
and now let's get into it. This episode is called uh, "Planted or Placed." Planted or placed. All right. So let me tell y'all where this come from. No, I'm not going to give any particulars, but I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and this was the general gist of the conversation. Do I have to be a member of a church? Do I have to be put my name on a roll if I'm doing uh, the thing? If I'm in ministry, if I'm doing yada 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 yada, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Do I have to be on the roll? Do I have to be? Do I have to make that, for lack of better words, total commitment to this ministry? So, y'all ready
You
to get
just
at it?
said it. Yeah, we ready because you just said it.
All right, let's
Hmm.
get at it. Where's my boxing bell? Bing, ding, ding. All right. And first question is the topic is the root issue. The root issue. Question number one: can you really grow if you're never rooted? And we'll do Doc first because my father and I are perfect gentlemen,
Gentlemen.
and we know to say ladies first.
And
Doc,
we,
it's
you
on
know
you.
what? I appreciate that. Funny thing happened to me today. I was coming out of Home Depot and had a big 50-pound bag of soil to put in my trunk. And a man walked up and said, "Can you need some help, ma'am?" I said, "I love a gentleman. So thank you, sirs." But
Thank you, Noah.
anyway, back to the question. Can you really grow? I'm a knock really out of that. Can you grow if you're never rooted?
Okay, I see where you're going with that.
And, and I think about plants, which is why I was at Home Depot today. I think about plants. If you just sit a plant outside, now weeds do grow, but weeds don't serve a purpose. But if you just sit a plant on some dirt and the roots don't take root under the dirt, any wind can come along and blow you whichever way it wants to go.
Mm.
So you need to be rooted, and that grounds you.
Somebody lift those hands.
Thank you.
If
I
you
got
love
those
him.
hands. That grounds you because you can't go along with anything if you're not grounded and rooted. And you said something committed. This
Hmm.
is what we don't want to do. But I know in our ministry, we let our parishioners know you once you become a member, you have all rights, privileges, as well as responsibilities. You see, we don't
And
want to commit
benefits.
to
I heard benefits. We
responsibilities.
got benefits too.
Yes, yes.
Deacons told we
So,
got
so
benefits.
yes, that's my take on the subject.
Pat, Bishop.
I know that's
Well,
funny, ain't it?
yeah, I think it has to do a lot with the adage, and I've seen this printed on different logos, and it's such a profound statement. And bloom where you are
Planet.
planted.
Yes.
In the 15th chapter of the Gospel of John, Jesus talks about you cannot live if you're not attached. He said, I am the vine, I am the vine, and you you've only got an attachment.
Right.
You're like
Mm-hmm.
a leaf. And when leaves fall from their attachment,
Come on now.
they
What they
die.
do?
And
Yes,
they
sir.
die because they have
Mm-hmm.
nothing to any longer adhere them to the root. Our Father is the root, and hey, you are the branches. You cannot, he doesn't say maybe, you cannot live unless you're attached.
Come on now.
So, no, church membership is not necessarily conducive to salvation. It's like baptism is not conducive to salvation. But once you are saved, once you are put in the pot, once you are planted, you want to bloom.
Come on now.
You want to be
Yes.
baptized. You
Yes.
want you I desire because now I have a different mind
Come
and my
on.
mind is to do the will of the Father.
I
Amen.
And he's told
Doors, hands. Yes.
so when the blessing goes out that says you are blessed and everything attached to you, you lose.
Come on now. If ain't nothing attached to you, it's gonna surely die right.
Come on. Yeah, that's basically me.
I was letting that
Yeah.
breathe.
My pastor.
I was letting that breathe. Now, my thought on it.
Yeah, yeah. That's
I
that's
I was
basically.
telling my friend
That's real.
um that no church membership or church discipleship, whichever way you want to label it, that that doesn't guarantee or deny your space in
Mhm.
heaven. Uh, the Bible doesn't say anything about um, if you believe and are joined to a church, you shall inherit the kingdom of heaven. It doesn't say anything like that. However, there are benefits to being
Mhm.
not only attached but connected.
Yeah, yeah,
That leaf that Bishop was talking about only gets nutrients not just because it's
Yes.
attached, but it's connected. Though there are nutrients that go through the tree and to the stem of the leaf. And if that
yeah,
stem is just
yeah,
merely attached and not connected, then it doesn't benefit. All it says is I'm attached to the tree, but I'm not getting any benefits. And the worst thing that you could do is be attached to something that you can't get benefit from.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
The benefit of salvation, the benefit of salvation is heaven.
yeah.
Amen.
That's the benefit of salvation. And if you
Amen.
You know what,
Amen.
Pastor?
oh, okay, yeah, the benefit
Along
of
with that, I've
being
seen.
connected to a church
Okay, go ahead. I'm
is
sorry.
uh uh oh man, I lost my train. But yeah, you can the gist of what I'm saying is you can
It's
go
all
to
right.
a church. You can go
My
to a
fault.
Exactly.
church
I'll be
and
back.
still go to hell. You can go to church and still go to hell. Going to church does not guarantee you a space in heaven.
Yeah, church.
However, like
Yeah,
I
Oh
said,
yeah.
there are benefits
yeah,
that you get just by being a part.
Mm-mm.
Remember the Bible am I getting ahead of myself? Let me see if I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, okay, yeah. You oh come on now.
Yeah, you
You
are
know what I'm getting
about
with that. But
assembly.
check this out.
Yeah.
Cause look, Doc, this is another thing I wanted to pin off of you.
Because it's usually me.
Planting, planting. You don't plant a seed on top of soil, and a lot of people a lot of people are on the
No,
soil, but they
because it's got
haven't
to
taken
take
root,
root.
and that's why things have come and have
Come on,
knocked
Pastor.
us out of place, knocked us out of position. And strong winds
Yes.
or people that walk
Mhm.
can kick you
Yes.
out of the soil into the street, and now you have absolutely
Amen.
nothing to
Yes.
grab hold of, Bishop.
Concrete.
Yeah. Now, I was going to say earlier, we're talking about the attachment and the connection. I've seen leaves connected to a tree by a spider web.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Right, attached to a
Yeah,
tree with it started by something. Man, hold up, hold up,
that has
Yes.
hold up,
no. Yeah,
hold
I've
up.
seen that.
Look at them.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I've
you
seen
can
that.
see it.
Check this
That's how
out.
Shirley weaves
Attachments,
her web.
Yeah.
attachments. It man.
Yes.
Oh,
And
you,
the other thing about the vine, and we studied this Bible study,
Hmm.
the vine has life. That's where we get our
mhm.
life from, is the vine. And when you're not attached to the vine,
Yeah.
you're dead.
That- That's
And
what
look,
Jesus said. I'm the true vine.
Yes.
and
You,
look.
you the
This is
branches. You.
one thing that Bishop taught us ministers while he was pastor. What's the difference between attached and connected? What's the
Yeah.
difference between
Ah,
attached
yeah. I
and
remember that.
connected?
Big
And
difference.
there's a huge difference. And the
Yeah.
best way that I can think of it is
Mm.
your Bluetooth device versus
Mhm.
your wired device, right?
Yeah.
So what I can do with an attachment, I have to have something that tethers me to where I'm trying to be at, like that spider web the bishop was just talking about.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a
yeah.
tether that keeps me attached
Okay.
to whatever I'm trying to be close to or whatever. But
Mhm.
when you're connected, I don't need a middleman.
Come on,
I
preacher.
don't need
Yeah.
grandma. I don't need grandma to tell me you need to. I don't need my daddy. I don't need my mama.
Yeah.
I got the connection for myself. And so
Right. Right.
that's
All right, Pastor. Go ahead. I'm going to
right.
raise them hands for you.
I'm getting some wet hands raised.
Yes. Yes.
However, I think we do have to say that membership in the body is essential, and I think you
Yes,
mentioned that because there are benefits to
yes.
Yes.
being,
That
yeah.
now going with that because I don't want to fly by that.
You
And
can.
that's the second question.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Is church membership optional or essential? Is church membership optional or essential?
We'll let
And
Bishop
before I
go
let,
first.
of course, he going first on this, but I do have to point this out. I don't think that I mentioned it when I first brought up the first question. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, these are differences between attending and belonging to a church. You can
Hmm.
attend every church
Anywhere.
you want to in the bi-state area. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? But there are benefits to belonging to a
That's
Yes.
right.
church. And now
That's right.
I'll let Bishop answer this first question. Second question rather.
Hmm.
Is church membership optional or is it essential?
Well, this one of those either or things. I think it can be optional, but it
Hmm.
is absolutely essential. And when you get down to the root of it, as we've been saying, it's no, it's really not an option if you
Right.
want to experience the
Oh,
essentials.
go ahead, Bishop. Go ahead now.
So
Hmm.
that you
Hmm.
can't have it. It's all two ways.
Y'all coming out the gate hot tonight.
No, you can't. I don't think, as far as salvation goes, church membership is optional. But there I go
Yeah, you
again.
back.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
But it's absolutely essential
Hey, you bet.
to life.
Yes.
To life.
That's like being attached to the
You
vine.
can't. It you.
Arm off.
Mhm.
If I get my arm chopped off, then it is still an arm. It doesn't take away from the fact that it's not an arm anymore, but it's just not connected or attached to
Mhm.
my body. Now I could attach my arm back onto my body, but there are things inside the body that are essential for doing things like this, movement,
Amen.
things like that.
Yes.
So even though
Amen.
I'm attached, I need to do something about the connection. So
Yes. Yes.
it's connection and attachment are both essential to the. I was about to close the circle off and say to the Christian, but to anybody.
Whosoever will.
Life itself. Yeah,
Whosoever
Yeah,
anybody.
will. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You try to get yourself attached and don't be connected. I mean, you look at a relationship. Um,
Oh,
is it optional for me
Hmm.
to come home every night, or is it essential?
it ain't gonna
Yes,
work if
I
it's
can choose.
optional.
Right, I can choose to stay
Certainly,
out.
it's an option. Yeah.
Right, I can choose to stay out as long as I want to all week. But I don't think it'll be the.
Right.
I don't think I would have the same thought about it as my wife would.
Right. Right. Right.
We not on the same page there.
Yeah. And but you raised a good point. It took me to Hebrews 10:25, where it says, "Don't forsake the assembling." I'm paraphrasing. Don't neglect coming to church, because coming to
Mhm.
church you can be encouraged, and you can encourage one another,
Right.
because the day of His return is drawing near,
How you? But
and we don't want to
Doc,
be.
Doc, how you gonna
Uh-huh.
tell me? How you gonna tell me not to do it, and then you come back and do it
I thought this is where we was going with this.
with this?
I thought we had
With
arrived
this
here. But go ahead.
is it,
But no,
did
it's
we?
not optional. I
Did we?
thought we did. Maybe I didn't. Is church membership optional or essential? So Hebrews 10 tell me, don't it?
To to uh to
Yes.
to to it's kind of look at everybody remembers the Transformers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Transformers more than
Hmm.
meets the eye. Um, they didn't just
Yeah.
they didn't
Robots
just
in disguise.
yeah they didn't just decide to move to a different to a different what I'm
Yeah.
like what Bishop said about the leaf. This is essential for life.
Yes. 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 We agree. I agree with that. Yes. Even though you thought I jumped ahead, but
Yeah.
it just took me there.
Ladies and gentlemen, Petty LaBelle.
'Cause
Petty LaBelle has entered the chat room.
y'all think he's saying Patty. He ain't saying Patty, y'all.
All right, let's move out of this one. We got some unless y'all got some y'all
All
want to preach
right.
some more about the root issue.
Well, I think, as we were looking at the assembling of ourselves together, uh, answers that you receive have already been pre-planned and purposed in the assembly. When questions, hurts, anything that has caused you to perhaps lose faith or become disgruntled, uh, God has already placed everything that's needed in the assembly,
Yes.
Hmm.
and you can't get it just staying at home.
Go with Bishop first. Bishop, you've been married
Mhm.
47 years,
48.
48 years,
48.
48 years. Bills,
Yeah.
I'm still paying the bills and all
Don't
that kind
mean
of stuff. I cut the grass. I go get your oil change. I do all the stuff that a man does. Why do I have to? Why do I have to belong here?
If there's going to be a relationship, there has to be connection and there has to be
Yes.
attachment.
Hmm.
I know we can